Hello everyone, welcome to my update US gossip channel. Kody Brown had been caught by police on the street while fleeing with stolen money. For a family once defined by faith, unity, and the dream of plural harmony, this moment marked the shattering of everything that had once held them together. The cameras caught the flashing blue lights, the confusion, and the disbelief etched on every face that had ever stood by Kody's side. For years, he had been the man who spoke about leadership and love, about protecting the family through every storm, but now, he was the storm itself. Officers escorted him away in handcuffs, his once proud curls falling over his forehead as Robyn stood frozen on the curb, her trembling hands clutching her phone, her tears streaming down as the world seemed to collapse around her. The story spread like wildfire through social media. Kody Brown detained, sister wives patriarch arrested after attempted theft incident in Flagstaff. Fans and critics alike were in shock, but no one was more broken than the women who had once called him husband. Robyn, his last remaining wife, had been summoned to court for questioning. Janelle and Mary, now long separated from him, had filed a joint lawsuit, an act that once would have seemed unthinkable. But after years of heartache, it was time for justice, not loyalty. Janelle had always been practical, quiet, the one who made sense of Kody's chaos. She had been his ally during the Coyote Pass era, the woman who saw potential when everyone else saw an empty desert. But as she sat in her modest North Carolina kitchen now, her eyes red from sleepless nights, she admitted to the cameras that she no longer recognized the man she had built a life beside. "When I heard Kody had been caught running with stolen money," she said, her voice cracking, "my first thought wasn't anger, it was sadness. Because I knew that wasn't just about money. It was about desperation. It was about him losing control of everything he ever tried to control." Mary, sitting beside her for the first time in years, nodded quietly, her eyes glistening with pain that ran far deeper than her words could express. "He took so much from all of us," she whispered. "Our time, our hope, our belief that we were part of something divine. And now, he's taken something from himself too. His dignity." Their lawsuit wasn't about revenge, it was about reclaiming what had been lost. Financially, yes, but emotionally, more than anything, it was about saying enough. For too long, Kody had played the victim, the hero, and the martyr. Now, he was facing reality, and the weight of every broken promise. Meanwhile, Robyn's world was unraveling in slow motion. Her love for Kody had been fierce, protective, almost maternal at times. She had defended him when others walked away. She had endured the criticism, the accusations, the hate from fans who called her manipulative or controlling. But in this moment, she was simply a woman watching her life crumble. As the court summons arrived, her trembling fingers struggled to open it. "I didn't know this was coming," she said softly in her confessional, her voice hollow with disbelief. "I didn't know that standing by my husband would lead me here, to court, to scrutiny, to being questioned about things I never wanted to be part of." She looked away from the camera, swallowing hard as tears filled her eyes. "I've been trying to hold the family together, but maybe I was holding on to a fantasy." The footage cut to her walking alone down her driveway, her coat pulled tight against the wind, her hair whipping across her face as she whispered to herself, "I just wanted peace." But peace was impossible now. The lawsuit filed by Janelle and Mary outlined years of alleged financial manipulation, missing funds, and broken agreements tied to the family's once promising Coyote Pass property. They claimed Kody had diverted shared resources into secret accounts, money that was meant for the family's dream homes and future security. The betrayal cut deep. TLC producers, who had been following the family for over a decade, captured every tense moment as lawyers explained the process. "We trusted him," Janelle said, shaking her head. "We believed in this vision. And now, we find out the man who preached about unity was keeping secrets all along." Mary added quietly, "This isn't about punishing Kody. It's about standing up for the truth, for once." In one of the most heartbreaking scenes of the season, Janelle and Mary met Robyn face-to-face in a Flagstaff cafe for the first time since the scandal broke. The silence between them was heavy, painful, and unfamiliar. Robyn arrived late, her face pale, her eyes swollen from crying. She set her purse on the table and stared at them, struggling to find her voice. "I didn't know what he was doing," she whispered. "I swear, I didn't." Mary's jaw tightened. "You didn't want to know, Robyn," she said softly, not cruelly but with a weary honesty. "You wanted to believe he was still the man you met years ago. But that man's gone." Robyn's lips trembled. "I loved him," she said. "I still do." Janelle exhaled heavily, her composure slipping. "We all did," she said. "And that's the problem." The three women sat in silence, their shared grief hanging in the air like a ghost of what once was, a family that had believed love could conquer all, now reduced to lawyers, police reports, and courtroom summons. Meanwhile, in a holding cell downtown, Kody sat alone for the first time without cameras, wives, or excuses. The man who once stood as the self-proclaimed patriarch of a plural kingdom was now just another face behind bars, waiting for a judge's decision. The silence in that cell was suffocating. In his mind, he replayed every conversation, every fight, every woman who had once trusted him with her life. He had told them that leadership required strength, that obedience was love, that sacrifice was divine. But now, stripped of all authority, he was forced to confront the truth: he had lost himself long before the money ever disappeared. In a later interview after his release on bail, Kody's tone was broken and defensive. "I didn't mean to hurt anyone," he said. "I was trying to fix things. I was desperate. Everyone thinks I'm some kind of monster, but they don't know what it's like to watch everything you built fall apart." Yet even as he spoke, there was a flicker of the old Kody, the one who always found a way to shift blame, to justify, to make his downfall sound like destiny. Janelle, however, refused to fall for it again. She told producers, "I've seen Kody manipulate reality before, but this time, the facts are there. The police caught him. There's no escaping accountability now." Mary echoed the sentiment, saying, "We gave him everything. I gave him my youth, my faith, my loyalty. And now I'm finally giving him my goodbye." Their lawsuit became not only a legal battle but a symbolic act of independence. The women were no longer just sister wives, they were survivors of a dream that had turned into a nightmare. Each of them had spent years fighting for their own identity in a system that demanded they surrender it. And now, with Kody's arrest, they finally found the courage to take it back. Robyn's storyline became perhaps the most tragic of all. As court dates loomed, she withdrew from the public eye, avoiding social media and family gatherings. She was seen outside her home, her hair tied back, wearing dark glasses, trying to shield her children from the chaos. "I don't know what the future holds," she said quietly in her final confessional of the season. "But I know I can't keep living like this. I can't keep defending someone who doesn't even know how to defend himself." She paused, her voice breaking. "I thought I could fix him. I thought love was enough. But love doesn't fix everything. Sometimes it destroys you." The episode closed with a montage of each wife living separate lives, Janelle smiling softly as she worked on her new wellness project in North Carolina, her energy lighter than it had been in years. Mary walking alone through her Utah inn, finally content in her solitude. Robyn sitting on her porch at dusk, her children playing quietly inside as she stared at the horizon, wondering what tomorrow would bring. And Kody, his image flashed briefly on screen, his face pale, his eyes hollow, as he walked out of the courthouse surrounded by reporters, his future uncertain. The narrator's voice faded in, somber yet reflective. "Once, they were a family built on faith and love. But even the strongest faith can be tested when truth comes to light. The Browns are no longer sister wives, they are women rebuilding their lives from the ruins of one man's downfall." Behind the scenes, friends of the family revealed that TLC was reconsidering the show's direction. With Kody facing ongoing legal challenges and Robyn's court summons pending, the network was reportedly exploring a spin-off focused on the women's next chapter. Janelle's lawsuit, combined with her new independence, positioned her as the heart of this new era. "It's not about revenge," she told a producer off camera. "It's about truth. I want people to know that even when everything falls apart, you can still rebuild." Mary agreed. We've been quiet for too long. Maybe it's time to tell the real story. As news outlets dissected every detail of Kody's arrest, fans flooded online forums with shock and sadness. Some defended him, saying he must have been driven by financial stress. Others called it karma, a long overdue reckoning for the pain he had caused. But for the family, the noise of public opinion meant little. What mattered now was healing. "He's still the father of my children," Janelle admitted. "That doesn't change. But I can't let that be an excuse anymore. He has to face the consequences." The legal process moved slowly, and by the time cameras wrapped the season finale, no verdict had been reached. Yet something profound had shifted. The Brown women, once defined by Kody's authority, were now defined by their resilience. For the first time in years, they weren't waiting for his permission, they were leading their own lives. And though the pain was fresh and the betrayal deep, there was a quiet strength in their unity, even apart.